Hey, what up guys? In this one, I'm going to share with you what I think is the best camera for solo golf YouTube content creators that are beginners who are looking to get into the golf content creation scene, specifically for golf vlogs. And that is this guy right here, the DJI Pocket 3. So let's get into it. One thing I want to say before we get into the detail is that if you do decide to film content on course, please do not deter from everyone else's experience, especially in your group. You don't want to be out there filming content and then making it sour for everyone else because you're filming with the camera. But that being said, this guy makes it really easy to capture all that footage that you need to make full-blown videos. I have used this camera for the Madeiras vlog and Del Monte, and it had pretty good results. So let's get into the pros and cons, some concerns, and then some closing thoughts. So the first pro for this camera is that it's $669. Now you might think that's expensive. However, it does come with a quality wireless reliable microphone, and that is this guy. This is the DJI mic. Their system is proven and it's very good. The quality is great. The connectivity to the unit itself is very strong, and it's one of the better microphones that a lot of content creators use. That's a pretty good package, in my opinion, for full-blown course vlog content creation with a microphone. Another pro is that it's really good image quality. Madeiras vlog, Del Monte vlog, had no issues with editing the camera footage. Everything was exposed quite well, as in like I didn't have to change too much in post to bring out some of the darker areas, so I really like that. I would say it performs just as well with my GH6. The thing with shooting outdoors and when there's a lot of available light, a lot of cameras are going to do pretty well. That's what you pay the big bucks for the full sensor cameras, is you're paying for that huge sensor to get more light in to give you a better image. But if you're shooting outdoors, your camera really doesn't have to compensate for anything, and so the image quality is pretty good. So touching more on the sound quality, I feel like a lot of people, they focus on getting all these really expensive cameras and then they forego sound. Sound, I feel like, is almost more important than the actual quality of image itself. Sure, you have to make sure you're framing the picture correctly, but even a 1080 resolution with good sound is much better than like 4K or 8K of a golf video with crappy sound, in my opinion. So that being said, I would be patient and wait for the creator combo. If you can buy it for $669, they have the option just to buy the camera outright. But for me, you just got to get it with the microphone. It's totally worth it. Just buy it when it's available. Don't buy the option without the microphone. Another pro of this little guy here is like, it's compact. Like look at this. Compared to something beefy, like there's no comparison, right? Like this thing's huge and chunky, and this is even smaller for a lot of the other options that you can buy out there, but this is tiny. Don't sleep on small form factor cameras, that is for sure. And another thing is that it kind of keeps itself pretty current with shooting vertical and horizontal footage. You shoot horizontal footage like so, right? You flick it here and then you can see it's like horizontally turned on, but you can also shoot video in the vertical format as well. So it's good for like Reels or TikToks or the more popular vertical form factor. So that is another pro. So let's get into some of the cons. One is that the zoom is not all that great. I found that every time I was punching in a little bit on the zoom, the image quality was getting a little bit degraded. Also, another thing is that yes, there was a wide angle adapter that you put on like so. I never get mine to fit perfectly square, but yeah, this is kind of lopsided, but that's not the point I'm trying to get to, is that yes, there is a wide angle adapter that is good. You kind of want to see all that scenery, especially when you're outdoors and you're shooting a golf vlog. However, I'm constantly turning the camera on and off to save battery power. So when you turn it off, yeah, of course the gimbal is going to retract, but the actual adapter itself, the wide angle adapter, is going to fall off, or it just gets shifted off as soon as it shuts down the power. So I actually don't even use the wide angle lens because I'm constantly turning things on and off to save battery. And so that's kind of a con for me as well. One more thing that is a con for me is that it doesn't shoot in an open gate format, meaning a 3x4 or 4x3 format, which is more square. The GH5 and GH6 that I'm currently using has the option to shoot open gate, and it gives me a little bit of playroom, and I'll demonstrate here on screen. It gives me a little bit of playroom above and below the actual image, so I can crop in, but that's more of a prosumer type of thing, not a huge knock because a lot of people don't use open gate. So main concerns that I have is that I am not sure how things will be with heat. And yeah, heat pretty much, like I haven't tested this in the summer yet. So maybe I'll go out there, shoot 4K 30. I won't be able to get through the round. I've only used this in cold conditions and it's performed flawlessly. The battery has lasted an entire round, so no issues there. Last concern for me is that the battery is internal. There's no removable batteries like a GoPro or even some of the other smaller cameras on the market. And it is nice having removable batteries because you can have a bunch of fully charged batteries on the side and keep exchanging them to make sure you have enough battery to do what you're trying to do. So this unit obviously has an internal battery, but in the creator combo, you get this battery grip. The battery is good enough to last an entire round. I get about a little bit over half with just the regular battery in the unit itself. And then this tops it off and it makes it easily through 18 holes. It might get a little dicey when I had more than 18 holes. I'm more worried about the microphone not having enough juice for 2 rounds. The unit itself, if I get multiple of these batteries, it charges quick enough to where I'm pretty good to go. Yeah, so that's pretty much the camera. I mean, I've used it extensively for 2 rounds now. Image looks great. It's compact, has great sound. I do want to say one word of advice here though. Honestly, if you're just starting out, yes, this is a good option to buy. I'll have affiliate links down in the description below, but you can just do it quite a bit with your iPhone and a tripod. So not a scratch golfer. Said it before on a separate video. He films everything entirely on his iPhone. And I think he has DJI mics as well. So like I said, good audio, good enough image will give you pretty good results. And then it just comes down to people liking your personality or the content that you put out. I'd say don't be one of those people who obsess over gear and think, oh, I can't go out there because I don't have the correct gear and but as soon as I get the correct gear, I'm gonna go out there and start making videos. Think about more like, hey, I'm just gonna go create videos, see if that's something I wanna do, and then over time, you can start buying things that will improve your overall product. So that's what I wanted to say about this camera. I think it's really great. I'm gonna take it on some trips, use it as a personal vlog style camera, so I'm excited to use it in that regard. But I think it's just an overall great piece of kit, and it's really good for golf content creation, especially course vlogs when you're on your own. That's it for the Pocket 3. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. But now I want to talk about my setup on course. So to get into it, I highly recommend a tripod like this, and I'll put affiliate link in the description below. But yeah, this guy is my tried and true. So this is my little compact monopod tripod thing, and I put my camera on top of this. I have the Joby mount, and then I use these Joby adapters on all my stuff because it's really quick and easy. Not prosumer at all, but it works for me, and I can quickly exchange like pieces of gear on this setup. But what I like about this is that there's space for a weight. I just have a 2.5 pound weight. This is not toppling over in the wind. Flimsy tripods definitely don't have enough weight. Like if it's a windy day, it's gonna topple over. And what I like about this too is that these feet here, I have little locks. If I'm on the side of the hill, I'll lock this down, adjust it accordingly on the fly really quickly. And I like this too because it's compact in size and it can go into the golf cart quite easily. I'm not screwing around with a huge tripod that's all splayed out with its 3 legs. The 3 legs that are splayed out are at the bottom of this base. So for me, this is the way to go. I've seen people use the iRange Sport and that works as well. But for me, the iRange is like, sometimes if you stick it into the ground with a spike, sometimes it might fall over. Or if you want something that's bigger than an iPhone, there's just no way it's gonna work. You might not always get a soft spot to put the spike into the ground. So that's why this is, for me, the way to go. So that's my tripod and how I basically make content when I'm not pushing a cart. But when I'm pushing a cart, I basically put this in the umbrella holder and we're good to go. I park my cart behind my ball, turn on the camera, and then it starts filming, go up to my ball, record, then turn it off, and I go to my next shot by pushing the cart. So those are pretty much my setups on the course when I'm riding or I'm pushing a push cart. For software I use, just touching on that, I use Final Cut Pro, which has its pros and cons. And then for the shot tracers, everyone always asks what shot tracer app I use. I use the one that everyone else uses. I use the one that the PGA uses, the one that Live uses. It's the Shot Tracer Pro app. That thing has been great for me. It is a tool, you must learn it. Just like everything else you do when you're creating content, you have to learn how to use the tools that you're given. There is no easy, like this tool will do everything for you. So it's a skill that you definitely need to learn and it takes time. My suggestion, if you're just starting out, use DaVinci Resolve because that's free. Or iMovie if you have a Mac, but DaVinci Resolve is probably where it's at. So that is my long-winded, yes, this guy is amazing, the Pocket 3. Get this if you want to be a golf content creator and shoot your course vlogs and other content. Highly recommend this. Will it replace my Panasonic GHs? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but I'm always down to make the workflow a lot simpler. And this definitely does it. And that's why I think it's a great suggestion to pick up if you want to create golf content. So if you have any questions, let me know. But hope you guys enjoyed that one. Keep chasing. We'll see you in the next one.